Welcome to Goofing Off-Road. I'm Tony. I have a new off-road vehicle project in the works and I want to get an air compressor to be able to inflate the tires. All my other off-road vehicles have the ARB CKMTA12 Twin Compressor on because it's super quick. But those compressors are over $600 now. The new project doesn't need onboard air, so I decided to look back into the market to see what portable air compressors I could find. I came across the EZ Flate M.O.A.B auto air compressor, which has a built-in pressure regulator and it's designed to pump up one tire or all four tires at the same time. Today we're going to see how the EZ Flate M.O.A.B auto air stacks up against the ARB CKMTA12 Twin Compressor. Let's see how they do. To make sure we're starting with a level playing field for both compressors, I'm going to take the valve stem out and let the air out of each tire. That way we're starting from 0 psi and we're inflating from there. I'm going to get all of the air out of the tire with this ARB deflator. It basically removes the valve stem and allows you to see what the pressure of the tire is as you take the air out. We're down to 0 psi and now we can pump the tire up with the ARB and see how quick it is. I'm going to start up the Jeep, turn on the compressor, and then we'll use the ARB to pump up the tire and see how long it takes. Okay, we're at 0 and here we go. And that's it, we're at 31 psi. And now we can see how quickly the M.O.A.B inflates the tire. The M.O.A.B comes with this hose that allows you to inflate just one tire. I'm going to open up the hood, connect the M.O.A.B to the battery, and then start the Jeep. So we're using the alternator, so it has the same amount of power as the ARB. And then we'll inflate that single tire to 31 psi and see how quickly it does it. Now we can connect this hose to the single hose. We connect the single hose to the tire. We set the pressure to 31 psi on here, and when it blinks 3 times, then it's set. This is the current reading at 0. And press single on the compressor and it will start to inflate the tire. Let's compare the results between the two compressors to see which one aired up the tires quicker. The ARB aired up a single tire in 5 minutes and 48 seconds. The EZ Flate aired up that same tire in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Now it's time to let the air out of all 4 tires and see how quickly we can do all 4 at once. I made my own pressure regulator and 4-hose system for the ARB so that it can inflate all 4 tires at the same time. Let's see how quickly that can go. All 4 tires are aired down and now we're going to air them up with the ARB. Now it's time to see how quickly the EZ Flate can bring all 4 tires up to 35 psi. First of all, we're going to connect the hose from the EZ Flate, and then we can take each of these, which goes to 2 tires, plug that in here. The same for the other side. Plug that in, and then we'll run these to the tires on each side of the Jeep. We're going to set the tire pressure to 35, so it starts at 30 and you just go up from there. And then we're going to press multi and see how long it takes to do all 4 tires. Here we go. All 4 tyres are up to 35 psi on the MOAB. Let's see how the 2 compressors stack up. The ARB aired up all 4 tyres in 14 minutes and 39 seconds. The EZ Flate aired up the tyres in 12 minutes and 39 seconds. That's an impressive 2 minutes faster than the ARB for all 4 tyres. I don't want to leave my tyres at 35 psi while I'm driving in the snow, so what I'm going to do is use the Hyperflex system to air the tyres down a little bit. First of all, we need to make sure that the valve is closed by sliding it down. Then we can disconnect the air compressor, and we want to try and bleed the air off by holding the collar down and letting the air out of the compressor. Now we can slide the valve open and use the gauge to see what PSI the tyres are at. I'm going to wear them down to about 29. Now I've closed this valve up and I can disconnect the Hyperflex system from the Jeep, and we can go back and look at the numbers and see how they compare. First of all, let's look at the price. The ARB will cost $616 today, and the EZ Flate costs $329.99. But that's just the price of the compressor. When you buy the EZ Air, it's ready to go. But if you buy the ARB, then you're probably going to have to buy a bracket to install it in your vehicle, and you've still got to wire it up. So you've either got to do all that work yourself, or you have to pay someone to install it for you, which is more money. Now let's see how much air they push. The ARB will move 6.16 CFM of air, whereas the EZ Flate tops that with a big 10.6 CFM of air. That seems impressive, so what makes the ARB so expensive? I'm going to guess it's duty cycle. The ARB has a 100% duty cycle, which means you can run it continuously. That's really useful if you have an onboard air situation or you're running things like power tools. The EZ Flate, however, has a 50% duty cycle at 30 minutes, and that means you can run it for 30 minutes and then you have to stop and let it cool down for 30 minutes before you can run it again. Unless you're running a ridiculously large set of tyres, then I think the EZ Flate can probably air up your tyres within 30 minutes, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. And if you have tyres that are larger than that, you're probably going to run an onboard air system anyway, in which case the EZ Flate isn't the right compressor for you. Another big difference between the 2 compressors is the weight. The ARB comes in at 17.4 pounds, whereas the EZ Flate comes in at 25 pounds. So is the EZ Flate right for you? Well, if you don't need a dedicated onboard air system, or if you have more than one vehicle and you want to move the compressor from one vehicle to the other, then the EZ Flate is probably a good bet. It's faster than the ARB, and even if you buy one of their host systems like I did, it's still cheaper than the ARB. However, if you have an off-road rig that requires an onboard air system, I'd recommend spending the extra money on the ARB. I've run the ARB in all of my vehicles for the last 10 years. I've never had a problem with it. It's super reliable, and you turn the switch on and it just works, which is what you want when you're on the trail. I'll leave some links in the descriptions below to some of the kit that we've used in this video. If you buy stuff using the links, then I make a little bit of money, and that helps me make more of these videos for you guys. If this video was useful, then please click the like button and subscribe for more cool videos.